Prime Minister Dahal has identified the need for increasing the use of information technology for self-sustaining economy, social justice and good governance. Premier Dahal has also said that necessary laws must be formulated to facilitate the IT sector. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. The Supreme Court says the certification of the Citizenship Act Amendment Bill cannot be termed illegitimate. Distribution of citizenship certificates by birth starts. Police data shows on average 37 road accidents are reported in Nepal on a daily basis, causing at least 7 deaths. Experts suggest to make safety system strong. Government entities in dispute regarding authority on management of confiscated items. Millions of rupees worth of assets mismanaged. Concerned authorities suggest to make a clear work procedure. And Team Nepal must win tomorrow's match against the Netherlands to secure a spot in the Super 6 of the ICC World Cup qualifiers. Nepal must defeat India tomorrow to keep hopes alive for SAF Championship semi-final. The Ministry of Home Affairs has directed related departments to distribute citizenship as per the law after the Supreme Court opened doors for the implementation of the amended laws related to citizenship. Expecting an increase in the number of service seekers at the district administration offices, the Ministry of Home Affairs has also made preparations to deploy additional staff. Following the Supreme Court's preliminary acceptance of the amended citizenship laws, doors have opened for their implementation. With this, Mohottari District Administration Office has issued a citizenship certificate by birth to an individual. Collection of applications has also begun at other districts. A few individuals who had reached their respective district administration offices with the recommendation of the local levels could not receive their citizenship in absence of a circular from the Ministry of Home Affairs. A few local levels have also not issued their recommendations for the same reason. However, the Ministry of Home Affairs has said that citizenship certificates could be distributed simply on the basis of the verdict of the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, Chief District Officers have drawn the attention of the Ministry of Home Affairs regarding possible increase in the number of service seekers to receive their citizenship certificates. Citing the existing human resources could not address the work pressure, they have also requested for management of human resources. The Home Ministry has also made preparations to deploy additional human resources. According to the Ministry of Home Affairs, 185,000 have received the citizenship by birth so far. As per the amended laws, their children will not receive their citizenship by descent. Those without the identification of their father and non-resident Nepali nationals will also receive their citizenship as per the law. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has identified 3 points based on which it has said that the certification of the Citizenship Act Amendment Bill could not be termed illegitimate. According to the Supreme Court, the bill, which was endorsed twice by the Parliament and sent to the President for certification, could not be discarded. The verdict issued by the joint bench of Justices Anandamohan Bhattrai and Kumar Regmi states that the complicated situation created after erstwhile President Bidyadevi Bhandari held the citizenship bill even after returning it to the Parliament following its second endorsement from the House of Representatives was considered while making the decision. The Apex Court has said that the bill endorsed by the Parliament could not be termed under consideration or entirely discarded. The Supreme Court has also said that certification of the bill by President Ramchandra Paudel, which was held by his predecessor Bidyadevi Bhandari, could not be termed illegitimate. A writ was filed against the certification of the citizenship bill by senior advocates Surendra Bhandari and Balkrishna Nyopani. Despite issuing an interim order for halting the implementation of the act, the Supreme Court later said that the interim order was not required to be continued, which has opened doors for the distribution of citizenship by birth. Prime Minister Dahal has called for serious assessment for the modality of development. During direct questions and answers session at the House of Representatives today, Prime Minister Dahal called for preparing the modality for development after conducting adequate studies on fiscal infrastructures. Prime Minister Dahal said that risks caused by disasters would remain if human settlements were not prioritized. Premier Dahal added that The budget was allocated by paying special attention to Karnali and Madhya provinces. Responding to the questions of the members of the House of Representatives, Prime Minister Dahal claimed of justified allocation of resources. According to Prime Minister Dahal, works of large-scale development projects were underway, including the East-West Highway, Patlaya-Birganj Corridor, Postal Highway, and Bagmati Kamla Chandra Canal, saying 351,000 metric tons of chemical fertilizers had already been imported. Prime Minister Dahal also claimed that there would be no shortage of fertilizers this year. According to the Premier, security at international borders would be further bolstered. He added that the government had prioritized enhancing the border outposts and regular maintenance of border pillars. Meanwhile, Speaker Devraj Khemire has postponed the meeting for 15 minutes after main opposition CPN-UML's parliamentarian Mahesh Bartola had said that the House meeting could not operate until the expenditure details of the Office of the Vice President were provided. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what could be the reason for the delay in search and rescue operation for the flood and landslide victims? 29% voted for A, geographical hardship, 23% voted for B, lack of initiation, and 48% voted for C, lack of resources. And here's today's question. How do you assess the question-answer session between the Prime Minister and the parliamentarians at the House of Representatives? Your options are A, effort to ensure accountability, B, beauty of democracy, and C, just a formality. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal has identified the need for increasing the use of information technology for self-sustaining economy and social justice. Inaugurating the Digital Nepal Conclave in Kathmandu today, Prime Minister Dahal said that prosperity and good governance could only be ensured by implementing the modality of Digital Nepal. Despite daily advancements in information and technology, IT-friendly laws have yet to be formulated in Nepal. Prime Minister Dahal identified the need for formulation of laws by including e-commerce and e-governance. On average, 37 road accidents are reported in Nepal on a daily basis, causing at least 7 deaths and 40 injuries according to police data. Recklessness of drivers, conditions of the vehicles and the roads, and the weather conditions are considered the major reasons for accidents. However, experts are of the opinion that construction of road without adequate study, feeble monitoring, narrow roads in rural regions, and lack of regular repair and maintenance of vehicles are the major causes of accidents. A driver had died after his vehicle traveling from Humla Simikot to Hilsa had plunged into the Karnali River on 19th of June. The next day, 3 individuals, including Sudur Paschim Province's Home Minister Prithvi Bahadur Singh, died in a car accident, while on 21st of June, 2 people were killed in Katekola of Baglung in another accident. Earlier today, 5 people were killed when a vehicle plunged around 200 meters from the road in Shahid Lakhan Rural Municipality of Gorkha. These are just representative cases. In the past 34 years, roads have been constructed in rural regions without adequate study. Transport operators operate their vehicles in roads without adequate safety and support infrastructures. Such roads are not even repaired and are ignored by the elected public representatives as well. Most road accidents occur in such rural roads of the country. The graph of road accidents has been on an increasing trend. According to police data, a total of 2,724 individuals had lost their lives in 24,537 accidents in the previous fiscal year, while 2,204 have died in 21,483 by mid-July in the ongoing fiscal year. Despite the provision of feasibility study for roads, proper designs and safety audit before construction and use in the road safety audit guidelines prepared by the Department of Roads 2.5 decades ago, it has not been implemented. The roads conducted without adequate study are also narrow and poor in quality. Experts have said that accidents are also increasing because of errors and flaws in designs of roads. According to data, 60% of accidents are caused by the carelessness of drivers. The Department of Transport Management had introduced a draft of the regulations for the driving license for commercial drivers 11 years ago, but it was not implemented. Accidents are also increasing as vehicles carry weights exceeding their capacity and because of lack of adequate repair and maintenance of roads. The act related to transport management has provisioned for fitness tests of vehicles every 3 months. However, the Department of Transport Management has not paid any attention towards its implementation. The only vehicle fitness center in Teku has also not been effective. The government itself has remained indifferent in implementing the recommendations of several commissions to curb accidents. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked people in several provinces what should be done to curb road accidents. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
गाडी चलाउन सक्षम व्यक्ति सिपालु व्यक्तिहरूलाई मात्रै लाइसेन्स वितरण गर्ने
इन्जिनियरिङ मापदण्ड बाटो बनाउनु पर्छ यो जताभावी बाटोहरू बनाउनलाई अलि रोक्नु पर्छ
लाइसेन्स दिँदाखेरि नै कडाई गरियो भने दुर्घटना न्यूनीकरण हुन्छ
जेब्रा क्रसिङ जस्ता यी ट्राफिक नियमका कुराहरू चाहिँ हामीले राख्नु पर्छ
सडक दुर्घटना रोक्नको निम्ति हामीले बाटोहरू फरकिलो बनाउनु पर्यो
ट्राफिक नियमबारे ज्ञान हुनु पर्यो
मापसी गरेर साधन चलाउनु भएन
चालकहरू नै अलि सजग हुनु पर्यो दोस्रो बाटोघाटोमा अलि सुधार आउनु पर्यो
Large number of four-wheelers and two-wheelers can be seen rusting at the customs offices, police stations, among other government offices. Due to dispute between government entities regarding authority and lack of law for the management of the confiscated items, millions of rupees worth of assets are rotting. These running vehicles, which were confiscated due to various violations, are now rusting and in inoperable condition. A law was introduced 10 years ago to auction confiscated goods. However, it took 7 years to form rules to implement the law. An office was finally established 2 years ago to enforce the law. The Department for Management of Proceeds of Crime was handed the responsibility within the Kathmandu Valley, while the district administration offices were handed the responsibility outside the valley. However, the CDO offices have not been able to work due to the lack of work procedure and directives. In their final match of the ICC World Cup qualifiers, Nepal play the Netherlands tomorrow. Team Nepal are under pressure to win the match to secure their spot in the Super 6 of the tournament. We now have the latest updates from the SAF Championship. Nepal and India are considered familiar rivals in South Asian football. Team Nepal usually suffer defeats against India at major tournaments. Tomorrow's Group A clash between Nepal and India at the ongoing SAF Championship is a do-or-die clash for Nepal. Team Nepal had suffered a 3-1 defeat against Kuwait in their first match, while host India had thrashed Pakistan 4-0. Team Nepal's journey to the semi-final is only possible with a victory over India tomorrow. In their 14 matches against India at the SAF Championship, Nepal have won just one time and suffered 11 defeats with 2 draws. In their first match under the SAF Games against India on 20th of December 1985, Nepal had secured a goalless draw. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.